Hey everybody, this is Jason with Outdoor Adventures, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about the LaSportiva Wildcats. This is a trail running shoe, and I prefer trail runners to boots for many reasons. One, I can go longer mileage, my feet don't sweat, these dry out incredibly fast, I can go on and on. I just really like trail runners, but that's not what this video is about. We're just going to be talking about these shoes in particular. Personally, I've had a lot of issues on my little toe on my left foot. For whatever reason, my foot, when it gets a little bit swollen from the hike, around 15 miles or so, my little toe would seem to press on the outside of really any type of trail runner that I got, and I just didn't understand why. I tried wide shoes, but felt like I was just swimming in the shoe at that point, and I was getting blisters on my heel. They just weren't locking down tight. So I took the suggestion of a couple people on the channel that have recommended these to me. Also, my hiking buddy Gary had gotten these a year prior, and he had no issues. So I figured, what the heck, let's try them. They can't be any worse than anything else I've tried, and these have honestly been my savior when it comes to hiking. I was just about ready to give up until I tried these things. Everyone that I've recommended these shoes to from the channel, they have raved about how good this shoe feels on them, and I am so happy to have found this great product. The outside of the shoe is made up almost entirely of mesh. I like that because that allows the shoe to breathe, and it also allows it to dry when it gets wet. The front of the shoe does have a little protective, a little plastic piece for if you slam your foot up on a rock. It's not the greatest protection, but it is there. It does a darn good job at it too. Now, another great feature that I love about this shoe is its heel cup. And what I mean by that, there's this piece of plastic that runs on the back of where your heel would be, and what it does, when you put your foot in the shoe, it kind of locks around your heel, and that causes your foot to not be able to drift back and forth, which is something I was having problems with the wide-based shoes, and it really feels really comfortable. I think the more you wear these shoes, the more that plastic heel cup will fit around your heel, and it just becomes even more comfortable over time. Speaking of which, there really is no breaking in period on these. You could just put them on and go. I still recommend that I always recommend that you wear shoes for at least a week before you go out on a major hiking trip, or do some day hikes at least with these. But that is just to ensure fit and that your foot is actually going to be comfortable whenever you get out there. Now, they were shipped with this neutral insole, and because I have high arches, I couldn't even use this. This was completely unusable. So right off the bat, even if you don't have high arches, I recommend that you just go out and get a pair of super feet, or what I like are called soles. Soles are heat moldable. You just put them in the oven at a real low temperature, put this in your shoe, and then you stand there for 5-10 minutes or whatever and let the insole form around your foot. So like I said, they come with a neutral insole. You may want to think about purchasing some aftermarket ones, but after that, they are completely comfortable. Now, the bottom, you may see these little, actually, let's use this one because you'll probably be able to see it. I actually like these so much I went and bought a second pair for whenever these run out or wear out. So you can see the little green, little grippy things. These are softer rubber than the black part of this. So these have a tendency to really grip onto the terrain that you're going to be walking on, with the only exception that I've noticed, and I'm not going to lie about this, I feel that these are a little bit slippery on wet rocks compared to some of the other shoes that I've tried on. For instance, Salomon's had really great wet rock traction. Now, it's not really a big deal. It's just a little bit noticeable. Just take your time on wet rocks, because these are not the greatest grippies, if you will. Now, another thing I really like is the laces. Now, laces might not be a big deal. You can always swap these out for a different lace, but nothing drives me more crazy than when my shoe comes untied on the trail. It just drives me absolutely nuts. I've never had a problem with the lacing system on this. The laces seem to just stay put, which is fantastic. They don't shift around, and I've never had a problem with the laces becoming untied in the middle of a hiking trip. So that's another great thing. Really, I can't think of any cons about the shoe except for one little piece, and it's really not a big deal, but I do want to touch base on it for a second here. When these shoes become wet and saturated, I mean soggy wet, the piece behind your heel, let's see if I can show you these, right here, this mesh material that they're using in the back, whenever you put your shoe on, maybe it's just the way I'm putting my shoe on, but I put my shoe on where I hold the back and, you know, I put it on. Okay, this is starting to wear, 300 and some odd miles on this thing, but this is starting to wear, and it's especially noticeable when it gets wet. This material sometimes shifts back and forth while you're putting your shoe on, which eventually will cause a tear in the material. I really don't know what they can do about this and still maintain its comfortableness, but I'd really like to see them work on providing, you know, perhaps a higher denier fabric right here. But again, it's not a big deal. You know, if anything, I'll just put a piece of duct tape on there and I'll be good to go for another however many miles I'm going to get out of these. Now, another thing I really like about this shoe is they are in European sizes. I like it way better than the American sizes because it allows you to get a more dialed in fit. I went up a half size knowing that my foot will swell, and it has just been perfect for me. Now, another great thing is the weight of the shoe. Each shoe weighs approximately 12.35 ounces, and these shoes are a little dirty, so it might be a little off, but you get the idea. We're at 1 pound, 8.7 ounces for the pair, and like I said, I have the aftermarket insoles in here. If you're having problems finding a shoe that works for you, consider giving the LaSportiva Wildcats a try. Now, you can get these on Zappos and try them on in the comfort of your own home, and if they're not for you, send them back. That's why I love Zappos so much. I really, really highly recommend that company. You might be paying a little more, but you have that peace of mind with that return policy. So guys, final thoughts. I really, really highly, highly recommend the LaSportiva Wildcats for any kind of hiker, whether you're new at this, whether you've been doing this for a while. This is a great pair of shoes. LaSportiva hit the nail on the head with these ones, and they are just a great all-round shoe. Whether you're trail running, whether you're hiking, whether you're backpacking, really no matter what activity you're doing, these will get the job done. So guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments regarding these shoes, don't hesitate to ask. Just let me know below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys, and I hope this helps somebody.